Grace and peace be multiplied unto you. Today we are continuing our science lesson on the topic human digestive system. Before we move on to our next subtopic, we first revise on what we did last week. Last week we talked about what digestion is. We said digestion is a process involving the breakdown of food into smaller and simpler parts or units that can easily be absorbed or used by the body, or it refers to the breaking down of food in the human body. We also talked about what digestive system is. We said they are a group of organs, which which work together to get the food taken into the body was digest. It's a group of organs which work together to get the food taken into the body digested. We also talked about some organs found in the digestive system, some essential organs. We mentioned the stomach, small and large intestines, the gallbladder, the pancreas, etc. and etc. Today, our first subtopic will be on functions of the organs of the digestive system. Functions of the organs of the digestive system. So with this image, this is how the digestive system look like. This is how the digestive system look like. So we have the mouth, we have the esophagus, we have the liver, we have the gallbladder, we have the stomach, we have the pancreas, we have the large intestines, also known as the colon, we have the small intestines, we have rectum, we have the anus, which is not identified here. So now we go on to the functions of the organs mentioned here. The first one we'll be talking about is the mouth. So the mouth, digestion of food starts in the mouth. This is because the mouth is the first organ in the digestive system. How does digestion start in the mouth? Before you take in food, it passes through the mouth. The food taken into the mouth is chewed or masticated and mixed with saliva to break the food taken into the mouth into smaller pieces. You get it? But before we continue to our next one, digestion of starch always starts. Digestion of starch found in foods are done in the mouth. Digestion of starchy foods is done in the mouth. Let's say starchy food, something like yam, plantain, cassava, rice, banku, all is a starchy food. It all starts digestion from the from the mouth. When you take in yam, you chew it. When you take in plantain, you chew it. When you take in cassava, you chew it. When you even take in rice, you chew it before it gets into your stomach. Passes through the digestive system before. So digestion of starchy foods is done in the mouth. Now move on to the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube that connects the mouth of the stomach. That's connect the mouth, the stomach. In the esophagus, there's a series of contractions called peristalsis, which moves food into the stomach. The peristalsis help to move food into the stomach. And move on to the stomach. The stomach is a sac-like organ with strong muscular walls. They hold or receive food that passes through the esophagus. So when you put food into your mouth, it goes into your esophagus, it passes through your esophagus into the stomach. So the mouth of the stomach is the esophagus. The stomach secretes acid, okay, which is the HCl. We talked about it last week, the hydrochloric acid. So the stomach secretes hydrochloric acid and enzymes, okay, which messes with the food in order to break it down. So the stomach also helps in the digestion of food by releasing or secreting acid, okay, the HCl, and some enzymes which mixes with the food and helps in the breakdown of food. Now, digestion of protein begins in the stomach. Digestion of protein begins in the stomach. We know digestion of starchy foods are done in the mouth. So digestion of protein begins in the stomach. From the stomach, the food moves into the small intestines. The small intestine is a long tube loosely coiled in the abdomen. It is therefore the longest organ in the digestive system of human beings. That is where food enters and where it leaves the stomach. The small intestine is divided into or made up of three segments: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. So the small intestine is divided into what? Three segments. We have the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. So when you take in food through the mouth, it passes through the esophagus into the stomach and it enters into the small intestines. The small intestines continues the process of digestion using enzymes and juice released by the bile and pancreas. So the bile and pancreas releases some juice into the small intestines. The duodenum continues the breakdown of food, while the ileum and jejunum are responsible for the absorption of nutrients into the bloodstream. So for the ileum and the jejunum, they are responsible for the absorption of nutrients from the food, okay, to the blood stream. But the duodenum continues the breakdown of food. The duodenum always breaks down the food. The ileum and the jejunum takes or absorbs the nutrients in the food into the bloodstream. Now move on to the large intestines. The large intestine is about 5 to 6 feet long. It is a muscular tube that connects cecum to the rectum. The cecum is the first part of the large intestines. So the cecum is the first part of the large intestines. It connects, okay, the large intestines, okay, to the rectum. The large intestine absorbs a lot of water from the undigested food. The large intestine, okay, it absorbs a lot of water from the undigested food. So after the digestion has taken place, all the food taken into your body does not digest. You will still have some undigested food in your stomach, okay. So when it gets into the large intestines then absorbs a lot of water from the undigested food. Bacteria in the colon also digest cellulose and produce vitamin K and B for the body use, okay. So a bacteria, okay, in the colon or the large intestines also digest cellulose and produce vitamin K and B from the body use. The remaining undigested food, usually in the form of semi-solid, which is called feces, okay, is emptied into the rectum. So after the food has been digested in the stomach, when some of the food has been digested, it goes into the small intestines. The small intestines is divided into three segments. That's the ileum, the jejunum, and the duodenum. The duodenum helps in breaking down the food. The ileum and the jejunum also absorb the nutrients in the food into the bloodstream. It moves into the large intestines. The large intestine, okay, helps. Okay, it absorbs a lot of water from the undigested food. So if the undigested food move into the large intestine, it absorbs a lot of water from it. After that, a bacteria in the colon also digests cellulose and produces vitamin K and B for the body use. Now the remaining undigested food, usually in the form of semi-solid, that's the feces, is emptied into the rectum. Let's move on to the rectum. The rectum is an 8-inch chamber that connects the column of the anus. The rectum receives stool or feces from the colon or the large intestines. That is, it stores undigested food before it passes out through the anus. So the rectum, its work is to store the undigested food, which is the stool or the feces. Okay, it just stores it, just keeps it, it receives the stool or the feces, okay, from the undigested food from the colon. Okay, and we go on to the last part, is the anus. The anus is the last part of the digestive tract. It is an opening through which feces or undigested food comes out. The process of removing undigested food or feces from the body is called egestion. We already talked about egestion, the removal of undigested food from the body through the anus. Okay, so the anus is the last part of the digestive tract. It's an opening through which feces or undigested food comes out. So the anus work is just to release feces from the body. So today we talked about the functions of the organs of digestion, the functions of some organs of digestion, and we explained it. So we bring our lesson to an end here. So an assignment to be sent to you. Try as much as possible to do your assignment and submit it by Thursday to the Dentistry WhatsApp number. Don't forget to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands with soap and water always, sanitize your surroundings, always put on your face mask. Stay home and stay safe. God bless you.